Buongiorno, hello and welcome. It's Wednesday, it was Wednesday yesterday, and it's time for the highlights of the midweek winter series by the Swedish Swift riders. In this week we have a scratch race, which means only the finish position will count for the GC. Last week we had a points race in Crit City with 15 laps, and in every lap a sprint to grab intermediate points. You can watch the video also on my channel, quite funny with all the sprints every 2 or 3 minutes. And now you see that I was quite far at the end of the field at the beginning. Was not sure why, but yeah, anyway, you see on the right side some new graphics which aren't working at the moment. This is also from Source for Swift, from the Source for Swift application, where the draft measuring comes from on the upper left corner. This is a graphic for the groups around you, which is much better than the one from Swift with the names on the right side, which are under the red graphic now. But in a few seconds or minutes I'm going to restart the Source for Swift software, and then the graphics will work. So yeah, at the moment it's not correct what you see on the right side. You can ignore it. The route was sand and sequoias, 2 laps, 43 kilometers. Every lap you can divide in 2 parts. The flat part through the desert, about 10 kilometers pan flat, and then the up and down through the Titansgrove with the Titansgrove KOM, and then the finish will be also pan flat. Here in a few hundred meters you will see it. Now you see I'm restarting the Source for Swift application, and then it will work. Some second, now you can see it. So you can see the different groups and how big they are, and what are the gaps between them. So you see the main front group is 84 people. Then 18 seconds behind is one solo rider, and so on. And you can see how fast the groups are traveling, what's the average power they are pedaling, and so on. There you saw one teammate, Chris Hurzel. He had technical issues. That's why he was some seconds behind, because he had dropouts. And I can also already tell you that he will have problems at the Titansgrove KOM and in the descent with dropouts, and this is why he will lose the front group there. Now you see the first attacks. So we wasn't sure if the race would be very boring and everybody would just sit in the bunch and nobody would do something. But you see, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers in the race, and the first attacks started. We were connected via Discord, our team, Wattfabrik. We were about 4 riders maybe, so not as much as in the last week, where we finished very good. A sweep on the podium, P1, 2 and 3, and also 5 I think. And so you see, first attack, but nobody got away. So let's jump to the next interesting scene. Now we are in the middle of the desert with a small waterfall and this little increase of the gradient. And there at the front you see 2 riders from the SRT team. Very strong team. Robin Anderson is in this team, so we had to be very aware, and this is why I immediately followed the attack. We checked the Swift Power start list before the race, as always, and yet Robin Anderson definitely the top favorite for the win. Also from Canada, Greg Doucette, quite strong sprinter. And of course from our team, Mark Bosch, Chris Hölzel, and also myself. And there are a lot of riders on a good day who can also be always in the top 10, top 5, maybe take the win with good timing. But Robin Anderson and Greg Doucette were the people we were looking for, and if they or their team are going for an attack, we would follow this attack or shut this attack down. And then we were leaving the desert and entered the Titansgrove jungle or whatever. I increase the speed, triple speed, and you can see the first riders have to leave the front group because the pace was now too high for them, but only a few. You will see this on the graphic on the right side. Now we are only 74 riders left, and so on, 69. So it's very helpful, way more helpful than the standard Swift graphics. Also the seconds to the group in front and behind, very accurate. You can see if somebody launches an attack. And by the way, thanks for your support on my YouTube channel. We are almost at 100 subscribers. I wouldn't have expected this when I started to make some videos and race highlights, and I talked about it in another video. I'm making the comments and analysis in English because I think for me it's a good way to practice my English, because of course I'm watching movies and so on in English, in original language with subtitles. But in general I never talk in English, only in holidays. So I think this is a great way to improve my English, or to don't forget my English skills. Could be important because I'm finishing my master thesis next month, and then start in the job world where English is also very important. So I think it's nice to talk a little bit in English. I know I have a German accent, but I hope you understand me. But thank you very much, and I will make some different video when we hit 100 subscribers. Maybe I can show you my pain cave or something like that. My Swift setup here in the basement. I don't know, we will see. But makes me very happy. And thanks. So now we are almost at the top of the Titansgrove KOM. Still a big front group, over 50 riders. And yes, I don't know if here will happen something interesting. I don't think so. So what was the time? 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Not very slow, but also not very fast. I had several times under 4 minutes here, so it was okay. And now I will make the next cut. When you look on the mini map, the 2 green points behind the front group, the first of these 2 points is Chris with the dropouts, and now you see he is almost back in the group. He is launching a very, very hard sprint now, and then in this sprint he got another dropout, and that's why he didn't make it to the front. But from the series. Not all results are counting. I don't know how long it is. 12 weeks. And the best 10 race results will count for the GC in the series. So, yeah. But he is for the next weeks far away from the first place in GC. He said that he wants to compete for the GC, or he wants to win the GC. That's also what I said. I'm riding for the GC, and I think that's also what Mark says. And before the race, I was on the first place and Chris on the second place, but it was very, very close. Only a few points, just one place, I think. And after this race, I will maybe increase my lead, because the race isn't over. Maybe I also can't manage to stay in the front group. You will see. Yes, so until week 11, it could be that Chris will be on the second place, but we will see. Maybe I will also have a bad day, or not the legs, or technical issues. You never know. Yes. So now we are again in the desert. You can see on the mini-map, or also on the right side, a solo rider at the front. 9 seconds in front, and now in a few moments you will see a team attack from team SZR, Swedish Swifters, I think. So I was positioned very well, quite near at the front of the group, so it was quite easy to react and follow them. I think this was also well coordinated with Discord or something like that, because all 4 riders started at the same second to sprint, to attack. But I grabbed their wheel very quick. I'm not interested in a split, in an attack, because we are strong sprinters. So Chris has fallen behind, but still Mark and myself in the front group, so we know we are very strong in sprint finish. So for us, it's not necessary to make a small breakaway and then make something like a team time trial, because this is something we are definitely not good at. Our absolute hate discipline. Okay, individual time trial is even worse, but TTT is also not our favorite discipline, especially in the flat. If it's a hilly course or a mountain course, it's something different, but hilly one, flat one. Next scene, next attack. So you see, it was really an active race. Not that boring as we were expecting it. That's very good. Now you see another rider from the ESRT team, the team from Robin. So I was following him. Didn't know what were the strategy from their team. So just followed him. But I can tell you that also this attack won't come through. Everything will run together once again. And almost 20 kilometers still to go. Time for the next attack. There's, I think, a solo rider, and now I don't want to slow down. I had the draft advantage in the group, and now I'm closing the gap, because I felt quite well at this point of the race. So I thought, okay, why not? Yes, I think this is the onlyest, I don't want to call it attack, but active move of the race. You see, we have a small gap on the mini-map, but once again, I'm not interested in doing some work at the front, so I'm just sitting in the draft, which feels always very uncomfortable, because I know how the other guys feel. They want to attack, and first they think, oh, there's coming another one who wants to attack with me, and then I'm just sitting behind. But that's racing, and we have to look for the best strategy for our team, for our results, like in real life. So I hope you can understand this if you're one of the guys. Well, and then it was time for the last time Titansgrove, whatever. This isn't an attack, it's just some higher pace. And yeah, once again, triple speed. 42 riders are left in the front group. You can see it on the right side, like I mentioned before. Upper left corner, the draft measurement. And yeah, there you can take a look when we are in the timed segment. And you can see how big the draft effect is there, or it's still there, even if it's a KOM, an uphill segment. And it's still a very high advantage if you're in the draft of the group. I also mentioned in a video before what this measurement could mean, because it is in percent, and nobody or nowhere stands why it is in percent or what does it mean. It just means, okay, if it's higher, it's more draft effect, and if it's lower, it's less draft effect. And then I made one day I made a meetup with Chris, teammate, and we made some little experiments with the draft measurement, and then we said, okay, maybe these are absolute watts you are saving at the moment. That would make sense with our tests. It matched perfectly. So one of us was riding, for example, in the front, steady pace, and the other one behind. We are almost the same weight, so the absolute watts are also almost the same, and it matched perfectly. So yeah, maybe these are the absolute watts you are saving. And for example, now even in the uphill, you're saving about 50, 60 watts per kilo which is quite a lot. You see, I try to stay near the front, but never in the wind. 37 riders are left now, so once again, a few riders have to let the group get away. And then we are at the top, so in the first lap it was 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and now it is 4 minutes and 7 seconds, so a little bit faster. And here it is always important to keep pedaling a few meters and seconds after the KOM banner to increase your speed, and then it's time to super tuck, and you can super tuck all the time, all the way down. Another key section every time you're on this lap, this little climb after the downhill section, where you always have to go in the very dark red zone. You see over 500 watts, 550 watts. And yeah, I've managed to stay in the front group. So yeah, I will finish also in the front group, I can tell you now. So I will make a lot of points. I will put a lot of points between me and Chris in the GC. Mark Bosch is also still here, also with a Wattfabrik jersey. Robin Anderson, you can identify him on the left side. Perfect timing. With the pink jersey and the big hat. And Greg Doucette, the guy from Canada. He's riding a orange Tron bike, I think, and also this pink jersey. Maybe it's the one at the end of the field now. So you can have an eye on them in the sprint. And Mark, of course, with a Wattfabrik jersey. And now I want to show you how slow the race became on the last flat kilometers. So there will happen nothing. I just want to show you how slow the pace became. So 40 kilometers per hour. Okay, this is quite fast at the moment, but far away from an attack or something like that. And then all settles down and everybody is looking at everyone. And I will show you the sprint in normal speed, and then we will watch a slow-mo, and I will give you a short analyze of it. My plan was to have a look on Robin Anderson, with the hat and the red pink jersey, because he is by far the best swifter, the best sprinter here in this field. So I wanted to look when he starts his sprint and stay near him and not too far at the front, because I've made sometimes a mistake that I started my sprint too early and Robin was just sprinting through. There you can see my dad in the background. Came from work and watched the last kilometers of the race. And I can already tell you that I will make mistakes once again. Now there's Robin on the right side, so everything works like planned. But then at some point now I forget my plan to look at him when he starts the sprint, and you saw he wasn't starting the sprint. And now I'm way too early, so far at the front. And you see the other guys sprinting through, Mr. Burke and Robin and Mr. Yehu from Wales. Mark is also in front of me. And power was quite nice, but it was in the end only the fifth position. I'm very happy with it. Mark on the third place, Robin on the first place in front of Mr. Yehu, and Mr. Burke on the fourth place. So very nice results. We are happy with them. But anyway, I want to show you a replay and analyze my mistakes or my mistake. So we are on half speed now, and at this point you see Robin is still at my side on the right. And now, like I said some seconds ago, I don't know why, but I completely forget what I said to myself, and I just see at the front, oh, somebody launches a sprint. So it's time to follow. And it's over 400 meters to go at this point. And I had too much punch in my legs, because after 3 seconds of sprinting, I'm almost completely at the front. Look at the draft measurement. At this point it was quite nice, but I realized if I continue to sprint I would be completely in the wind, so I stopped pedaling. You can see it also on the bottom, dark red, yellow, dark red, and this resulted in less speed, but it was still better than go completely to the wind. So but then I didn't had the meters to get enough speed, because you see if the sprint would be maybe 100 meters longer, my speed would be better and my position. So not perfect. To sum up, too early at the front. Then I managed, I made the right decision to stop the all-out sprint for 1 second, maybe 2, and get once again in the draft of the group, and then place 5 if the best I could make. And congrats to Robin, congrats to Mark. And so in the GC I am now leading quite clear in front of Chris and Mark, so 3 times Wattfabrik in the B category. See you soon. Give me a like and subscribe, leave a comment, and maybe we will see or hear each other in the next days. Right on.